Welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and I am going to work on another page for the hashtag Scavenger Hunt 2021. I did not make the cutoff, but I am continuing to work through it just because I want to finish it. So here we go. These are the prompts I have already used. I'm going to set this to the side. I did go through and write down the number on each of the prompts so that I don't have to waste time looking up the number. And if you've been watching, you know the drill. I'm going to mix these up. I'm going to close my eyes. Yes, my eyes will be closed. They aren't yet. I'm going to make sure I keep all of them in there before I start grabbing. And I will draw 3 and we'll see what comes of it. Are we ready? All right, here we go. I guess I should locate the bowl before I close my eyes next time. Let's see, there's 1. There's 1 and there's 1. So we'll use these 3. We have a bar soap wrapper, a necklace or a chain, and blowing ink with a straw. Well, this could be interesting. Let's see what I can come up with. I will be right back. All right, so I think I've got figured out what I'm gonna make with these 3 things. The bar soap wrapper. Okay, confession. I have been known to buy bar soap simply because I liked the packaging. I got this when I was in, let's see, was I in Greece or in Italy? This is Greece. And it's donkey milk and vanilla all-natural soap. And the soap was fabulous. But I saved the package because I thought the donkey was really cute. And I just figured I would find a place to use just the donkey somewhere. But I have a different plan now. I also have my straw for blowing my ink, which I'm actually going to use this glimmer mist, and a technique I just saw on another video today for bubbles. And here is my chain that I am planning to use. So let me get these out of the way. Let me grab a couple of other things that I forgot to get, and we'll get started. All right, so I got my inks that I forgot to get the first time around, and I am going to edge the page all the way around first thing. That's going to be my first layer. So I am going to start with the lightest in the middle, and that would be the tumbled glass. And I'm going to just cover this whole page, but I'm going to kind of ombre it out from the center. And since I don't know exactly where my pieces are going to go, I am going to cover the whole page. And it may seem like I'm going a little far out from the center with this, but my other colors can easily go over this since they're darker. But I can't bring this back over the lighter ones, or the darker ones. So therefore I am making it a little bigger. Let's see, the next lightest one. Now this is kind of a, let's see, it'll be broken china. I was getting ready to say that from the covers it would be kind of a toss-up because they seem to be the same tone, but when I look at my swatches I can see this is lighter. And since I'm going from a lighter blue to a slightly darker blue, it is safe to go ahead and use the same brush. my table has the wiggles. I don't know what's up with it, but it's gonna have to get over itself because that's irritating me. I think maybe my legs are a little awry. It's also not used to sitting on carpet, which here in the basement, it's on a carpet. And that might be making the difference. It may not have the solid base that it had in my previous studio. And then last, I am going to use Salty Ocean around the edge. I'm not sure I've used my Salty Ocean because there was no tap off in the lid there. All right, that's all nicely covered. Set this to the side. Ooh, sorry about the squeak. Now, I am going to get my spray because I want to lighten this up a little bit. I don't want it to look quite so, it's not really even, but it's not the look that I am wanting right at the moment. So I'm looking for paper towels and I don't know that I have any down here. So we'll see what I can do with a baby wipe. Or maybe a tissue. I'll probably try the tissue first since it'll be dry. But I am going to just lightly spritz over the paper with the spray. Because these are Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, they activate and react to water. And these Kleenexes will actually pick up some of that color when I pick up the water. I don't know if you can see it, but it's picked up a little bit of the color here and around here. It doesn't show so much on the lighter color. I am going to do it again, just real lightly. Maybe not so lightly in the case of that particular spot. And that is more of the look that I was hoping to get. All right. I will still leave that baby wipe out to dry. That way if I do need a dry paper towel, I have one. I have one. All right, it's still a little wet over here. Okay, now my paper is wanting to curl up, so I'm going to grab a bit of washi tape just to hold that corner down. That entire side. All right, so there is the base for my project. And now we need to do the 3 items. The necklace and the chain, the blowing ink with a straw, and the bar soap wrapper. The first one I'm going to do is blowing the ink with the straw. And to do that, I'm going to use my Glimmer Mist as ink. And I've never used this Glimmer Mist, so I do not even know how it behaves or if it behaves. We will find out. Got this little medicine cup here, and I'm just going to spray some into this medicine measuring cup that I have. And I've got my straw right here, and this washi tape just can't seem to handle the curling tendency. Let's see. Let's try getting it lined up at least with the corner, and I'll try taping it just a few pages down instead of down the side. Hopefully that will be enough to hold it down. All right, so I am going to pour just a little bit of this in each of the corners and then blow it. I'm not so sure I like that. We'll find out if it makes a difference over here, if I get some more on. Put a little over here. And then we'll turn the page back around and do this last corner with what's left. Got to that last corner, I had kind of figured out how not to get the big long string, but rather get the spread ones, and it's by swirling around the straw as you're blowing. And I like the sparkle that gave. Not so sure how it's going to fit in with what my original plan was, but we'll find out. And I am going to do something just a little odd. It's still blowing ink. How about that? Or what would blow ink with a straw? I'm gonna rinse this cup out real quick and just pour that in to my water. I have some soapy water right here, and I have a little ink in there. I'm gonna put some more ink in there. The same glimmer mist. And there is soap in here, and I'm going to stir it up, and I'm going to stir it up pretty well. And then we're going to see if this works like it did on the video. I'm going to put the straw in there, and I'm going to blow and see if I can get bubbles. You know, like you used to blow in your milk carton in school and get in trouble for doing it. Oh, whoa, that was... Perfect. Now, we're going to have to let this sit for a bit. Well, that sure didn't work for me like it worked for the lady in the video. So I'm going to dry this and see what I can make of all this. All right, I have ironed this, and not only is this background ready, but I have also prepped the page behind that and the page behind that and just a tiny little bit of the page behind that. So we'll see what I do with those on the next projects. Now, since I am going to have to let this get completely dry, even though I ironed it, it still feels not quite dry in spots. And so I'm going to move on to the next step. This bar of soap measured about 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So I cut, well, I started to cut these and then realized my camera wasn't on. I have cut these 2 inches this way, and I'm going to cut each of them 3 inches the other way. And then I'm going to stack them one on top of the other, gluing between each layer, in effect laminating them to one another so that I can get a bit of a three-dimensional effect. And I'm going to create a bar of soap. Because I am bound and determined to make this mess work. So I am going to glue these together. They're a little bit smaller, but soap gets smaller as it's used, so I think that will be okay. I'm going to glue these together, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so here is my bar of soap, and I got it a little dirty, but it's okay. I'll figure out what I'm doing with it from there. I think I know what happened with my bubbles, and so I think I have a fix, and I may try to do something else with that. But right now, this is the beginnings of my bar of soap. I need my corner rounder because I am going to round the corners. I probably should have done that before gluing them together. My poor corner rounder. It worked. I just didn't like it very much. And now it's full. I think that maybe, as much as I don't want to get another corner chomper, sometimes I think that these thicker pieces are just a little bit too much for any of the corner rounders that I have to handle. And I think that in certain cases it might be advisable to have something that's a little bit more vigorous. Is that the word that I want? What word would you use for it? I know that the corner chompers can handle really, or I don't know it for a fact, but I've heard that the corner chompers can handle thicker pieces. Okay, I think I'm just going to use my scissors to get the rest of that one. I have it marked so I can at least follow the impression. I'll go ahead and clean up the other corners while I'm at it. Okay, there we go. So there's our bar of soap. And I think I'm going to trim this right across. And then right up the back, like that. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this because I really like the little donkey here. I think that I will just go ahead and cut up the side there, and let's see, we'll cut here. I'll put that to the side, and then I'm going to fold this so that it's got a little bit more of a crease. That one had a crease I could follow. And I don't know that I'll use these in this particular project, but I am going to use this. Let's see. There we go. All right, so I've got that and I've got that. Now I am going to take my nail file, if I can find it. Let's find one that's not been used on something black or blue. And I'm just going to kind of buff the corners so that it's beveled toward the back so that it will look like it's shaped and a little more three-dimensional. All right, I'm happy with that. It actually looks like a bar of soap to me. Now, I'm going to try this again, but I'm not going to put it on this paper. I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm going to do it on the bar of soap. So once again, I am going to blow into here. My straw is getting soft and is soaking up that ink. Okay, I got a little bit of bubbles, so I'm going to do it again. But I want small bubbles, not big ones. And I think that's going to work better, so I'm going to set that over here to the side. We'll see. Who knows? All right, now I'm going to move on to the next part while I'm letting that dry. And I think that this is needing just a few more minutes, and so I'm going to get started on this. For this part, I need to have 2 circles of one size. I think that my punches may need sharpened or something. And then 2 circles that are just slightly small, just a little bit smaller than that. And I used, there's leftover packaging from something, I don't know what. And I used this leftover packaging for both the bar of soap and this particular item. And what I'm going to do is, one of these didn't punch out quite as well as the other, so that's going to be on the bottom, because once again I'm trying to go for some thickness here to get a three-dimensional effect. So I'm going to trim off where it didn't punch well. Like I said, I think maybe I need to get some foil out or something and sharpen them. And then I'm going to glue these two together, and then I'm going to glue these two together, and then I'm going to glue these two together. All right, so there's the first part of that one. And I'm actually going to grab, I have some brushed corduroy on here, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of both of these. I say both of these, it's one piece, but I want to hit the edges of both sets of circles. And now I am getting into my hole reinforcers. I want to get a couple of silver ones, and so I'll just pull this out. And I don't know if you can tell yet where I'm going with this, but I think that you'll know once I get this particular portion completed. I am going to take this hole reinforcer and set it off about halfway off the edge of that page, and then I'm going to line up a second one right there. Then I am going to fold it back and pull it off, and you can see that I've got all the adhesive right there exposed. I'm going to put that right in the center of this set of circles, and then I'm going to pull that up right there so that it stands up straight. Does it look like anything to you yet? And my chain went somewhere. Okay, so I'm apparently going to have to replace my chain that I like to never found one of anyway. So I'll set that over to the side. Let's see, and I think that this is pretty well dry. That's bugging me that I can't find my chain now though. Okay, so I didn't find the chain that mysteriously disappeared. I'm figuring it got caught on my sleeve or something and walked with me away somewhere. But I did find another one. And what I am going to do is add this jump ring. I already added the jump ring to the chain, and now I'm going to add it to this loop that I made out of the hole reinforcers. And I'm going to close that right up. And I think you can tell what that's going to be. Okay, I think I have my act together now. I'm going to move this out of the way because I want to do one more thing to this base page. And it's liable to be very messy, so I'm going to get something to protect all of my equipment. All right, so the lighting is going to seem a little strange for a moment, but I'm trying to protect everything that is that way on my desk. I think I want And now, because I have this poster board in front of me, it's making my voice echo very strangely. So I am going to get just a little bit more of the Glimmer Mist on there. Kind of like that. And I just felt like I wanted more. I may decide later it was a mistake, who knows, but for now, that's what it is. So I have a blog that I write, and I will share a link to it below to this particular post that I wrote. And it was about forgiveness. And usually while I'm doing this background part, it comes to me what I want to do with the rest of it, what the message is that I want to get across, whether I want it to be serious, funny, if I need to share something that's on my heart. And so it didn't come to me until after I actually had these things made, what quote I wanted to put on there. I just knew that I was going with a bath theme, in case you haven't figured that out yet. So I am going to handwrite this quote. I need to find the least bumpy part. Like right there is a seam that goes across from where I got the paper so wet that it stretched and then folded on itself. And I think that I want this to go down here, just because it kind of looks like the water is running that direction, and I don't like the way that particular line ended up. This is also where my numbers are going to go, and I'm just going to handwrite those on like it is a number for a product number. And I'm going to take my smallest micron pen, which is going to be my .02, and my numbers are 89, 58, and 38. So I am going to write, let's see, today's date is the 9th. So I'm going to put 4, 9, 2, 1 on this side. And then on this side, I will write, let's see, 89, 58. I did that so it would be centered across from it. And 38. So now it looks like parts. And I'm going to glue this right down here. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a pop dot or if I think that it's already dimensional enough. I think it's already dimensional enough. So I'm going to grab my glue, and I just started using this Sweet Sugar Bell bottle with my Fabrifix 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac, whatever it is that you're using. And oh my goodness, I love it. It is a life changer, or at least a crafting life changer. And I will link below where I got that. So I know that I want that there, and I know that up here I'm not going to be able to write. So I am going to put my bar of soap in my wrapper. Let's see. I think I'll do it like that. Maybe. Maybe. Yes, because I need to cover up that seam there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down as well. I said life changer on this. I don't know that it's a life changer, but it's certainly a game changer. I still think that little donkey is just so cute. He's so cute. Hold that down for a second. And then I'll take my bar of soap, and I don't know if you can see, it did make a bubbly pattern on there. I am going to add to that here in just a minute. But I'm going to do that last after I get my saying on here. All right, I am not the best at hand lettering, and it takes me a while, so I will fast forward you through this part. All right, so I have that part written down. I am going to go back over it with my 05, and I am just going to thicken the down strokes. And this is the scary part for me. All right, I am almost done. I have some little acrylic pieces here. And they're just flat backs, but they look like bubbles. And so I am going to add some bubbles to my soap and probably to a couple of spots down here. And these are from Dress It Up at dressitup.com. And I'm actually covering up some of the spots that look a little dirty on my bar of soap. You wouldn't think a bar of soap would get dirty because it cleans, right? That's not how it goes. Let's see, turn that one a different direction. And then maybe one up there. Ooh, lots and lots of spider webs. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can flip this over into the right place. No, I'm just going to get glue all over myself. There we go. And then I think I'll just lay these out first and make sure this is where I want them. Glue all over me now. I think that works there. And that works there. That one works there, and then I'll put another one right over here by the plug. I think that works well. If I can get it glued without making a mess now, it'll be really, really nice. Not that my bottle is making the mess. I'm loving this bottle. There we go. I have some spider webs to pull off after that glue is completely dry. Oop, that was a seam. That's not spider webbing. I like it. That is my own saying. Feel free to use it if you'd like. Because sometimes we just all need to be reminded of that. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this installation of the Scavenger Hunt 2021. And I hope that you'll join me next time. I am constantly learning new things about myself, about art and what works and what doesn't, and still trying out new things. Even when it doesn't do what you think it's going to do, it's still a lot of fun. It's encouraging and it's relaxing most of the time, and I just highly, highly, highly recommend that you spread your artsy wings. Thank you for joining me, and remember, as always, be kind. Bye.